Hi, my name is Onslow the Undead, and this is Brainfood Reviewed. Brainfood Reviewed is a little show I'm going to do where I'm going to review some movies, some TV shows, web series, and maybe some other zombie products. Tonight I'm going to start off with a feature film, the very first zombie film ever, officially, 1932's White Zombie. Now this film was directed by Victor Halperin. It starred Bela Lugosi, Madge Bellamy, Robert Fraser, and John Herron. And it's the story of this couple who are getting married, and they go down to Haiti. They've been invited to come down there by a rich, wealthy landowner. And as it turns out, this landowner had met the wife, whose name is Madeline, while he was traveling, and he fell in love with her. So he's kind of schemed to get them down there, and he kind of teams up with the character that's played by Bela Lugosi to kind of make things go his way so he can steal this woman away. White Zombie was based on a book that was written in the 1920s, and it was the first time that the word zombie was actually used in the English language, and the author had gone down to Haiti. He had experienced it and seen these zombies for himself, and well, it kind of came back into the English language. So 1932, Victor Halperin decided to do this movie called White Zombie, and officially the first zombie movie in the English language. Now, of all the people who were in it or associated with it, the only one that you probably really know is Bela Lugosi. Bela Lugosi in 1931, the year before this movie, had been Dracula, and it's the Dracula that's the basis for all the Dracula movies in America as far as sound films were concerned, and everybody knows it, and probably everyone has seen it. I think in this particular movie, Bela Lugosi does as good a job here playing murder legend as he ever did playing Dracula. I think it was fantastic. So I've come up with 5 worst things about this film and 5 best things about this film, and I'm about to go through those right now. So the worst thing about this film is that it's kind of a victim of the era. It's a black and white film. The pacing is very slow. The performances are often melodramatic. The second worst thing about this film are kind of the attitudes written in for the characters. They're very class-oriented. They have a little bit of disdain for the local culture, and they dismiss these folk stories and the lifestyle of the characters, and it really kind of comes off as a little bit racist. So the third worst thing about this film, in my opinion, the zombies are kind of stiff, and pardon the pun, but kind of lifeless, and they don't really seem very menacing, although they are, but they just really don't come off that way visually to me. The fourth worst thing, there's a scene where Madeline, that's the bride, after she comes under the spell of Bela Lugosi's character and she has this fainting spell, really is kind of a tragic bit of acting if you watch it. The fifth worst thing about the movie, I think it had this kind of happy ending that really didn't seem to go along with the rest of the story. Everything kind of gets resolved in everyone's favor. I really didn't like that very much, but that's also a product of the time. So 5 best things about the movie was the fact that this was the film that started it all, and you kind of have to give the film kudos for being the first zombie movie. Despite being a 1930s movie, black and white, and despite the fact that they don't seem very menacing, the zombies actually do look pretty creepy. So I was pleased with the way the makeup was done, if only their actions had been a little bit more scary, I guess. A lot of the shots really owed a lot to the German Expressionist movement, which had kind of come along during the silent era, and I love German Expressionism. There's a film noir scene in this movie where Neil, and that's the husband, and he's kind of sad at this point, and he's sitting there drinking in this bar. And while he's sitting there drinking, there are these shadows on the wall that are all these people dancing and having a good time, and it's played out over him while he's sitting there. And I think cinematically, it's a great shot. It's a great scene in this film. And the number one best thing about this movie is Bela Lugosi. I mean, it's Bela Lugosi. He looks good. He looks scary. He's got the voice. He's got the attitude. Everything about Bela Lugosi is great in this film. So Bela Lugosi was actually the first zombie film star. Not only did he do White Zombie, and then he had a little cameo appearance in Revolt of the Zombies, he also was in The Bowery at Midnight, Voodoo Man, Zombies on Broadway, Scared to Death, and his kind of final role was Plan 9 from Outer Space by Ed Wood. All of those are zombie films. So he was the zombie star. As far as rating this film, I think it's a very dated film for people who are not really big zombie fans. I'm not sure that you would appreciate it as much. People who are zombie fans definitely need to see it, but the overall rating that I'm going to give it is think about it. Just think about it. If you want to see it, see it. If you don't want to see it, not a big deal. Come in.
Well, good afternoon, Mr. Onslow.
Hey, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
It's Melee, the mostly dead mail lady.
Mostly dead.
How's the mail route going in the post-apocalypse here?
It's going pretty well. You
Yeah?
could say things are a little dead. We had fun.
But people are still sending some mail, right, occasionally?
Yeah, we only have one letter today for you.
Hey, that's one more letter than I got yesterday.
Well, there you go.
Oh,
All right. Let's see here.
nice.
It's rather large.
Wow, that is a huge letter.
Oh my goodness. It says, "Hey Onslow, I'm 12 and I love zombies. I want to know, do you only watch zombie movies because you are a zombie? ? Or do you watch other movies too? Also, if you only watch zombie movies because you are a zombie, what about before you were a zombie? ? Your fan, Teddy."
Teddy. Well,
Here's your enormously large
that
letter.
is interesting. Let me put that with my notes.
You can put it
So
on
what
your
about you?
wall
Do you
if
well,
like.
before I answer Teddy's question, do you watch zombie movies?
I do. Sometimes I don't really like to watch television. It rots the brain.
Rots the brain. Yeah,
But,
you're right. It is kind of it's not always highbrow stuff.
Yeah.
So, well, should I answer Teddy's question?
I think you should answer Teddy's question. You're leaving him
Alright.
hanging. Everybody wants to know the answer. Answer Teddy's question.
All right. So, Teddy, the answer to your question is that nowadays I almost exclusively watch zombie movies, or what I consider a zombie movie, which may not be a zombie movie to everybody. Now, before, when I was still alive, I watched a lot of other kind of movies, sci-fi, drama, rom-coms occasionally. You know, you have to keep the wife happy. But no. So nowadays it's strictly zombie movies. Not just because I'm a zombie, but because zombies are awesome. Awesome. What do you think? Zombies are awesome?
It's like the young people say, represent.
Represent. So, now that you're here,
Now that
now
I'm
I've
here.
reviewed a feature film. Have you ever seen White Zombie?
I've seen it a time or two.
A time or two. Did you
It
like
comes up
it?
in conversation.
Now, I'm going to review a short film. You want to stay here while I review this short film?
Sure, I got nothing better to do.
No more letters to deliver?
No more letters. No, I saw Miss Betty earlier.
Yeah?
She was a little tied up.
A little, I've heard about Miss Betty. Yeah, I stay away from her. So I'm going to review this short film. In this last half of my show, I want to review a short film, you see, and these are things that are independent films and things that people have done out there that maybe didn't get a lot of, screen time or whatever. So the short film that I'm going to review today is called DayZ, Day Zero. It's a short film from 2014. It's actually based on a video game called DayZ. Did you know there was a video game called DayZ?
I did not.
I didn't
I've never
either.
heard of it.
When I found this thing a while back, and there's like hundreds of these short film fan films out there that these people have made. But this is one specific one, based on a story that was developed by Jonathan Davis and Brian Dean and directed by Brian Dean, and then the stars were Jonathan Davis and Glenn Young. Now, what I really liked about this film, there was a lot of good action and some action music combo going on there, and the sound was great, and there were some nice sound effects in there. And I've always said years ago with film that good lighting and good audio are elements that can turn a film into a really good film. Now, for an independent film, and one that was just put out there for anybody to see, but maybe not a lot of people saw it, this one was really good. Good cinematography, good lighting, good sound, and pretty decent acting, and a good storyline. So I really enjoyed it. Now, if you want to go out there and watch this film, if you still have the internet, we're going to put a little web link in here. You can watch it. On this particular film, my rating is that you should probably see it. Now, that's the next to the highest rating I give a film. Now, I might not give a big production that rating, but this film, it's a good film.
Right.
So, well, anyway, thanks for stopping in and hanging out with us.
Well, thanks for having me. I can't wait till next time I have some more letters for you.
Yeah, please, feel free to come by anytime.
Awesome.
Watch some zombie movies. You can help me review a film.
I would very much enjoy that.
That would be awesome. Thanks for joining me. I'm Onslow the Undead. This is Melee, the mostly dead male lady. And come back and see us on Brainfood Reviewed the next time.